Get ready, because here it comes. Here it comes. You're going to hear it all. I hate teachers. I hate public education. I don't understand. This is much more complex than I'm led to believe. Teachers just need the tools to be effectively evaluated and managed appropriately so that they can achieve their very best someday in some system that we have yet to identify and never will. Because if we did, it might lead to the firing of lousy teachers and bad principals who hurt our children and their futures. Listen, I feel like the luckiest guy in the world to have gotten this job. I feel incredibly blessed to be able to come here in the state where I was born and raised, where I dragged my poor wife from Pennsylvania kicking and screaming nearly 25 years ago from Pennsylvania. She said, "Well, we're going to live in New Jersey?" Yes, we're living in New Jersey. I feel incredibly blessed to have this job and have this opportunity. And I do not care, not one bit, about getting reelected. Now, I'm not saying I don't want to get reelected. Let's make that clear. But I'm not going to govern in the way that this state has been governed for decades before. No illusion. You did not elect me last November because of my charm and good looks. You did not send me to Trenton to run a finishing school. You sent me to Trenton, I believe in my heart, because you knew the place was a mess, a damn mess, and you wanted someone to clean it up. Cleaning up is messy and ugly, and sometimes it requires fighting and pushing and shoving. Sometimes it requires cajoling and begging and pleading. I can do all that. And I'm going to do whatever it is I need to do to change the state I love. But I will not stand another day in being an incrementalist. I will not stand another day here as your governor and say a little bit regarding reforming education is good enough. It's not. We cannot wait. Your children are sitting in these classrooms today. We cannot wait to make it better. We are paying a king's fortune for an educational system which is not giving our children the royal treatment. We are paying a fortune for something that is not giving our children the hope and the faith and the trust that their tomorrow can be better than their today. And so when you see violence in our cities, when you see drug use rampant across our state, and you say to yourself, why? Why? I will tell you, I believe one of the reasons, especially in our cities, is a lack of hope. The child who believes that by learning and working and achieving, their tomorrow can be everything they want it to be, doesn't pick up a gun and shoot someone else. The child who believes that their tomorrow can be filled with riches and possibility and achievement doesn't shoot drugs into their veins. A child who believes that through hard work they can be whatever they want to be. What my mother told me from the day I was born in Newark, 48 years ago, until the day she died 6 years ago. Christopher, the only thing that limits you is how hard you're willing to work. She was right, because I had an education that made it so. That made me hopeful for every tomorrow, because all that I had to worry about was getting myself out of bed and working as hard as I could. And I believed in my heart, because my mother told me that I could be whatever I wanted to be. There's not a child in the state of New Jersey who shouldn't be able to believe the same thing. But in Newark, in Paterson, in Jersey City, in Asbury Park, in Pleasantville, they can't believe that. And they don't believe that. And as a result, they resort to drugs and violence and other things that lessens our society. I went to visit the Robert Treat Academy, one of the greatest charter schools in America, in the city of Newark. And I met a mother, this is while I was U.S. Attorney, and I met a mother who had gotten her child in through the lottery at the Robert Treat Academy. Her son got picked with a ball out of a bin. And I asked her, how did it feel that night when you were waiting to find out if your son, a kindergartner, was going to get in or not? And she said to me, Mr. Christie, I knew that getting picked out of that bin or not was the difference between my son going to college and my son going to jail. No mother in New Jersey should be confronted with that choice. No mother in New Jersey should be confronted with that reality. Not with what we're paying, not with who we are and what we've stood for. These reforms, and the ones I'm going to talk about on Thursday, are the fundamental civil rights issue of our lifetime. And we are going to stand up for it.